Hi everybody, Annette Knack here, coming to you from sunny New York. Doesn't look too sunny right now. I'm hiding in a storage closet because it's the only place I can get a little bit of privacy and a little bit of quiet. So here we are, New York City, New York. Again, it's about 70 something degrees, absolutely beautiful. And I want to talk about motivation with you today. So motivation, it is a really important thing. I am a health coach and a fitness professional, so I talk motivation with my clients all day long, things that they can do to increase their motivation, how to maintain whatever it is that they're trying to accomplish, but more importantly, letting it come from a place where it's actually going to be sustainable. So when I talk about motivation, I am going to tell you a couple of stories that I find really important because motivation to me has taken a lot of different forms throughout my lifetime, and it's time for me to share those stories because I find that I am much better on the other side of the camera, and I'm not going to hide anymore. So me, vulnerable, motivation, so let's get going. So motivation. For me, motivation is really important about, when I am looking at my goals, what do I want to accomplish with my life? Where do I want to go? And what do I want to really do? And I'm going to tell you, it's hard sometimes to really get my motivation up and keep it up and be able to go after the things I've told myself in my lifetime I always want to get, because I haven't always let that motivation come from the most important part, which is coming from me. And it's really important that it comes from you and not from anybody else. So let me tell you a story. Many years ago, I was dating someone for a really long time, and it was pretty serious. And I would have told you back then I would have married him, had his children, and it was just, that fairy tale high school sweetheart thing. And I based a lot of what I wanted and where I was going to go around him. I thought, we're a team, we're going to make it happen. And he broke up with me one day after 5 years and said, "It's not me. No, I got that backwards. It's not you, it's me." And I was heartbroken because I had attached all these dreams I had had of my life to him. And the problem with that is it wasn't really coming from me. And looking back on it, I think a lot of those goals were not really mine, they were his. And it's discouraging, so I gave up. And my story is of someone who has given up several times and has found her way back. And when I say I found my way back, it's back to me, back to the most important thing. So I set my goals. And I set my goals really high, and sometimes when you set your goals really high, you find them really hard to get to. And it's been a little heartbreaking. So, you have this thing that you want to accomplish with your life right now. I'm really looking to create a group of people that are super passionate about health and wellness, and are looking to make a change on a global level because people are suffering out there. And people really across the world need help, and they need guidance, and need support, and they need love. And they can't really get any of that if they don't know where they're coming from. So my motivation to help people is part selfish and part, really looking at the bigger picture. When I was 19 years old, my father lost his battle with lung cancer. And I use that as a way of kind of saying to myself, okay, so health is really, really important. And what I want to do is that I want to help people live longer, healthier, and just better lives overall. So when that happened, I really set on a course of helping people, and I went to school for physical therapy because I figure if I can help people just get into a little bit less pain, a little bit more function, it's going to be my contribution to the world. And I decided that after a couple of years, it wasn't really the best fit for me. So I went more into the fitness realm. So it's really where my heart was, and I started running, and I started doing marathons and triathlons, and it was fantastic, and I loved it, and that motivation was for me. And I'll be honest, a little bit of that motivation was the guy I had dated for a really long time told me you could never do it. And when someone tells me I can't do something, it's kind of like a challenge. So I took that motivation, I kept going, and I ran 1, 2, 3, 4. I ran 15 marathons, and I kind of overdid it because the motivation at the end of the day was not coming from me. And when it's not coming from you, again, it's hard to sustain. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be your long term. So I stumbled, and I said, okay, well, let me take a step back. Okay, so I got back, and I was healthier, and I was happier, and I turned around and I got into a car accident, and it shook me It took me so much that when I was trying to get back to being as healthy and as strong as I was before, and this car accident was about 3 years ago. I was rear-ended by 3 cars. I was car number 2 of a 5-car pileup. And if anyone knows New York City, the George Washington Bridge is a really, really big bridge. It was right in the middle of the bridge on Saturday during rush hour. It was fantastic, and my car was totaled. I had a concussion, I had whiplash, and I had nerve impingement up and down my entire left side, and it was really rough because I told myself, like, I can do anything, I'm ready, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it, and I couldn't do anything, I couldn't do my job, and I lost any motivation to really take care of myself because I had pretty much said, I'm going to do it, I can do it, I can do this, I can do that, and I couldn't do anything. And my point here being that I've gone through a lot in my life like everyone else has, and when I've attached my motivation to real tangible things that I want, I've had a much better success rate. When I've attached them to other things or other people, things that I think I should do because someone told me would be a good idea, it never really turned out well. When you attach your success to someone else, it ends up being one of those things where you can get it or not get it, but then you feel bad because you let that person down. But when it comes from you, it comes from right here. And this is probably more important than anything else because it's really the only place where change can happen. It's really the only place where you can achieve anything is when it's actually personal to you. So the ex-boyfriends, the car accidents, the losing my father to cancer piece, it was all really hard. It made me who I am as a person, but it also made me stronger. It made me realize a lot of things, and one of the things is not to take myself for granted, take what I need for granted, and definitely not to take anyone else for granted. So as passionate I am about what my goals are, my goals need to be based on my own self, and it needs to be based on the things that I want to accomplish in this lifetime. And I'm finding that when I'm going after my dreams, it's really easy for me to say, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to, sign up 3 new clients. I'm going to run another marathon. I'm going to take on a new distance, a new anything. And if it's something that I truly want to do, I'm going to follow through with it. And I'm going to find that it's capable, for me to do anything. I can run faster, stronger, longer, I can lift more, I can push my clients, I can do all this stuff. But if I'm doing it because someone else is telling me to do it, a boss, a mentor, a friend, even a family member, if someone tells me what I should be doing, I can say it's really a great thing for me to do, but if I'm not connected to it, it's never going to happen. So I'm getting some questions about how much do I lift. So it's a little bit of a funny question because I can lift a lot of weight. I would say I'm a pretty strong woman, both upper body, lower body, all that stuff. But the most important part here is really what is it that you want to do and where are you pulling from? Are you pulling from something that you've been told you should be doing? Are you pulling from something that you think you've been told your entire life as to what your goals are? You should get married, you should have children, you should get the job, you could sit in an office. I knew at a very young age I wasn't meant to sit in an office. I just knew it wasn't going to happen for me, that I needed to be moving around, I needed to be interacting with people, that sitting behind a computer was going to be the one thing for me that was going to be detrimental to me, getting any of my goals. And the biggest problem is after all this stuff that I've been through, I've hidden behind a computer and I've hidden behind my phone, and I'll take pictures, post them to Instagram and on Facebook and everything. But at the end of the day, it's just not me. It's not me being who I am. So in light of all this newfound knowledge, it's great, but what am I doing with it? I'm, hiding in a storage closet, like sharing these thoughts with you. And really what it comes down to is, what do you want to make out of your life? Is it something bigger? Is it something smaller? Is it something where you're going to go after your dreams? So I'm in a storage closet because I'm at a job that has a lot of children, and they're running around like all over the place. And they're really, really noisy. And if I tried to be somewhere else, they would, knock into me and they would get on camera. And they're cute, but not really what I wanted to accomplish with them. They're not my kids. So I have a different job, so I don't have to worry about watching them. So my whole thing is that with motivation, whatever is most important to you, you want to make sure you go after that. You don't want to make sure that you are not doing something simply because someone else thinks you should be doing it. You should be doing it because you want to, because you love it, because you're passionate about it. And for me, I'm really passionate about being who I am, honestly, truly, 100%, and not being afraid of what other people think, because at the end of the day, you're always going to be judged. And that's fine, because it's just what we do as humans. And I've been judged a lot, and I've had a really kind of very visceral reaction to it. And it hasn't been a good one, and I'm not really proud of it. But I'm not really letting that get to me anymore, because right now what I want to do is I want to make a difference in other people's life. And by being yourself, you can really make a huge difference, because you can own who you are and not own who you're supposed to be. My parents were great. They never gave me any kind of limitations. They never said, well, you're a girl, so you can't do this. And your brothers can because they're male. So they never said to me, play small, play into a role that we think you should have. They said you can do anything, you could be anything, you can have anything. And along the way, I got lost, because I decided it was a good idea for me to say, okay, well, I'm dating this guy, and I think this is going well, and I think I need to join on with him, become a team, and, go through his dreams. And that didn't work. And I could rely on my father, but that couldn't work. He was taken so young from cancer. That wasn't his choice. So for me to kind of fall into, what would my father think I should do? And I should do only what my father thinks I should do. And what would he do? And if I was here, then, that's not the way to live your life. That's just not gonna, really, it's not gonna give you anywhere. You're gonna be stuck in the past. And I don't want to be stuck in the past, because he wants me to live a very full life. And I know that, and I can say that. He's been gone 19 years. And I miss him every day, and I love him and all this other stuff, and he's always with me. So it's always something that is in the back of my head, that I want my parents to be proud of me, but I can't live my life for them. So yeah, there's been a lot of hard times. There's been a lot of great times. At the end of the day, I've realized that coming back to me, being who I am, being vulnerable, finding my motivation exactly where it's going to be, which is from here, right here in my heart. And sending love to everyone right now. I feel like there's some people out there that really need it. Let's take a moment and, yeah, just a little bit of love, because I think we're a little hard on ourselves. And I think that when you find your motivation, when you found your motivation, it's not something that's really going to be, it's not really something that you're going to have to guess. You're not going to second guess. You're not going to wonder, is it there, is it not there? You're going to know, because it's going to come from right here. And there's really no doubting that when you are following your heart, you can find your motivation. You can find everything that it is that you need from your life, because you know that at that point anything is possible. And that's really what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to share with you that find your motivation, find it from within, lead with your heart, be yourself, be vulnerable, and just know that anything is possible. So I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you next time.